August 2009. Botanist Stewart published a photo of a pitcher plant trapping a mouse. This photo was reprinted by various media, coincidentally, as early as 100 years ago in the Victorian era. The British newspaper published a news that people heard. Someone found a mouse bone in a pitcher plant. This discovery caused a huge sensation at the time. For thousands of years, humans seem to have subtly believed that moving and not moving is the essential difference between animals and plants. It is natural for animals to eat plants. However, is this really the case? Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. In this episode, let us spy together. Plant's secret weapon. Mysterious nature full of wonders. In the long river of hundreds of millions of years, some plants survive, evolved the survival skills of insidious and deceitful, and used the technique of trapping to the extreme. Generally speaking, their trapping techniques can be divided into three categories: sticky capture, trapping, trap, and the subtleties are astounding. Drosera is a master who is good at using the sticky trapping technique. It has tendril-like branches. The end is topped with crystal clear sticky drops of water. Looks just like the delicious Shang pearl lollipop. But for insects, it's a deadly killer. Once strayed into the forbidden area, it will be difficult. No matter how hard it struggles, it's hard to escape. Insects contain a lot of nutrients, can meet the growth needs of sundew. After a desperate struggle, the insect eventually becomes exhausted. About half an hour later, the tentacles around the insect begin to bend. Will wrap it tightly in the end. Insects have no chance of escape. And the glands on the sundew leaves secretes chemical enzymes that digest insects. Insects are abundant in nature, so sundews are plentiful most of the time. This also gives other competitors an opportunity. The oak toad. It's easy to steal food from it. This tarantula learned to adapt to local conditions. Directly tie the net next to the sundew. Of course, not all neighbors are annoying. Insect traps living in South Africa. You can't live without your close neighbors. Because the sticky capture technique is really easy to use. It also evolved the same sundew biological traits and predation skills. But both have pros and cons. The mucus secreted by the insect trap is similar to rosin, but more viscous. But it doesn't secrete digestive enzymes like sundew. This requires the help of its neighbor, the stinging bug. Sting bugs spend their entire lives on carnivorous plants. Its body has evolved an anti-stick wax coat, so it can come and go freely in the dead land. This insect trap has a fly caught in its net. It's bigger than a thorn bug. Stink bugs are more cautious. It will wait patiently, waiting for the struggling fly to be exhausted. Of course, the waiting process. It is inevitable to fight with other competitors. The victor will put his sharp mouthparts, insert the fly into the body to suck the juice. In the end, the fly is nothing but an empty shell. This eating method is very similar to that of spiders. A well-fed stinging bug dumps its feces. Stay on the branch of the insect trap. These pre-digested fertilizers provide sufficient nutrients for the growth of insects. The pair of neighbors also formed a mutually beneficial symbiotic relationship. As we all know, Darwin is the most famous biologist of modern times. He published The Origin of Species in 1859. Theory of evolution seems to have opened up the light of human wisdom. Humans finally figured out how they got here. However, Darwin once said that, compared to The Origin of Species, I'm more interested in sundew. He has grown many carnivorous plants in his lab. He wants to use experiments to verify the biological characteristics of sundew. He will milk, meat, piece of paper, and stones on top of the sundew. By careful observation, he has exhaustively documented the plant's response. The sundew will coat the milk and the meat, but it doesn't respond to rocks and paper. Through repeated experiments, Darwin finally found that any substance containing nitrogen can cause the reaction of sundew. In his view, sundew is simply carnivorous creatures in plant clothes. Besides, he has another kind of bug catcher in his lab. It's a fly trap that uses the moon's trapping method. After careful observation, Darwin found that flytrap leaf edge covered with bristles. Each of the 2 petals has 3 fine hairs, like the trigger for a ticking time bomb. Once you touch 2 of the fluff, the trap will trigger immediately. But only touch 1 of them. Flytraps don't react at all. This is why. This is actually a coup for flytrap to seek advantages and avoid disadvantages. Growing in a wild environment with frequent rainfall, the collision of pretty raindrops will trigger the mechanism. Then it has to keep opening and closing until I'm exhausted. Venus flytrap apparently not that stupid. Its double fluff is like double insurance. No matter how the raindrops collide, they cannot be triggered at the same time. What's more, it also has a small time difference in the middle. Just touch 2 hairs in succession within 20 seconds. The prison door will be closed in an instant. Insects are trapped and can never get out. Insects react fast, but Venus flytrap reacts even faster. Slow down the footage by 80x. The whole process only takes 1/3 second. Its speed is beyond the reach of many animals. The more the prey struggles, the tighter the jail door will be closed. Cells on the inside of the leaf are stimulated to secrete chemical enzymes. Insects break down and digest after being killed. Venus flytrap had a good meal. Of course, Master 7 also misses sometimes. If the caught insect is too small, it can squeeze through the crack of the door and escape. Next time, if not triggered again, the dungeon will reopen, waiting for the warm visit of the next customer. Darwin's research on sticky trapping and trapping proves these plants are veritable carnivores. Compared with the above 2 trapping methods, the trap technique is more subtle and complex. Nepenthes is one of the typical representatives. Different geographical regions, their evolution is similar. They are unique in shape and colorful. But this beauty hides a deadly murderous intent. In a swampy pine forest in North America, Sarracenia grows in various colors. They're like trumpets with long tubes and caps. Gradually narrows from top to bottom. Varieties of Sarracenia. Each species has slight differences. Sweet floral fragrance and colorful colors. Deadly allure to insects. The fluff under the lid secretes a sweet honeydew. Insects are busy sucking honey. I didn't even realize that I couldn't stand still anymore. When it falls straight into the flower tube, it's too late. The walls of the pipe are so smooth that it can't climb out at all. Sarracenia also secretes digestive enzymes. Break down and digest prey. And another kind of purple pitcher plant is unique. Like the bug trap, it can't secrete digestive enzymes. But it also has a good neighbor. It can even be said to be its confidant. Its belly often has accumulated rainwater. Pitcher midges lay their eggs in the water. The larvae make this their home after hatching. Once an insect falls into the trap, they will chew up the body and expel it. Their excrement as fertilizer will make pro bono contributions to close partners. Trap technique is really easy to use. Based on the principle of convergent evolution, a plant in the bromeliad family also knows this way, have evolved remarkably similar survival techniques. They're actually close relatives of the pineapple, growing on the branches of other trees. This will allow them to get enough light. But there are also disadvantages. Their roots hang in midair. Inability to absorb water and nutrients from the soil. So they have to find another way. In the end, they make a fuss about the leaves. Broad and compact leaves, surrounded by a reservoir, provide them with adequate moisture. This carnivorous pineapple is like a deep well. At the bottom of the well is an acid rich in digestive enzymes. An ant came here by mistake. It didn't realize that it was a deadly abyss under its feet. The leaves of the carnivorous pineapple are covered in wax. Glowing white, extremely smooth. even though ants have hooked feet. Can't even stand on it. All of a sudden it slipped on the soles of its feet. Fell straight into the trap like an ice skater. Let's turn our attention to Sarracenia again. Some pitchers are not long and straight. Instead, it evolved into a curved spiral. Parrot pitcher growing in a moist glade. Usually it also feeds on insects. But days of rainy weather caused the water to surge. It is also inevitably submerged in the water. If it wants to survive, it must change its recipe. The spiral flower tube is like a cage for humans to trap fish and shrimp. It targets small fish, shrimps, and even tadpoles. Once you get in, you can't turn around and get out. In order to survive, the pitcher plant does everything. Another spiral-shaped pitcher plant can grow almost a meter high. It's called Cobra Sarracenia, as the name suggests. It's shaped like a cobra with its head held high. The pattern on the body also resembles the scales of a snake. And also has good light transmittance. Its entrance is very hidden, making it difficult for prey to guard against. Most insects have the habit of phototaxis. After the insect breaks in, it will instinctively fly to the large and small light spots. In the end, it will only fall to the bottom of the bottle. Most Jarrah tubes are fully enclosed. But the sun pitcher is a typical example. We can clearly see. There is a slit in its stomach. In South America, towering ancient rock walls. Green grass and green trees in the canyon, white clouds walk leisurely. Sun pitcher grows in this beautiful place. On the top of the mountain isolated from the world, it is surrounded by clouds and fog all the year round. Rising warm and humid air leads to continuous rainy weather. This caused great trouble to the sun pitcher. If water accumulates in the flower tube all the year round, it is likely to fall because it is overwhelmed. So it evolved a unique way of regulating the water level. The gap with fluff will open and close slowly. Drain excess rainwater out of the body. After seeing the pitcher plant, let's take a look at its close relatives. Nepenthes' secret weapon. In the rainforests of Southeast Asia, some pitcher plants have evolved sharp barbs. Looks like the maw of a beast. What's more, under the canopy of N. bicalcarata, has sharp fangs like a poisonous snake. Venomous snakes use their fangs to secrete venom. And it uses its fangs to secrete nectar. The effect of both is fatal. This morphological resemblance. Even people can't tell the line between animals and plants. There is also a kind of pitcher plant that uses deception to the extreme. Botanists named it Nepenthes albaryngus. This is because its bottleneck, surrounded by a distinctive white band, like the beautiful snake wearing a white scarf. It is one of the rarest pitcher plants in the world. And that white band is its secret weapon. When night falls, thousands of termites come out of their nests. Even on a brisk march. They will also be attracted by this white ring. Because the temptation is so irresistible. White substance like icing sugar. A group of ants are lying on the mouth of the cage and nibbling greedily. If they make a mistake, they will pay with their lives for this delicacy. Ants are like dumplings. Fell into the trap. By the next morning, the white ring had been eaten clean. And the digestive tract of Nepenthes is full of ants. Some pitcher plants can no longer be called grass. They have grown into trees tens of meters high. Tanks of various shapes are covered with branches. The most amazing Nepenthes grow in Borneo. It's the largest pitcher plant in the world, Nepenthes raja. Looks like a pocket version of a flip toilet. If the toilet at home is designed in this shape, happiness will surely rise instantly. Closer to home, Nepenthes toilet. Oh no, it's Nepenthes raja. Not only prey on insects and attracts mammals, it secretes a sweet juice under its canopy. This is a mountain tree favorite. Once found delicious. It will rub on it without any scruples and eat like crazy. Straddle such a cute toilet. Can't help but want to poop. So it eats and pulls. It looks a bit strange at first glance. In fact, its dung is the best fertilizer for pitcher plants. If not mutually beneficial. Why does the pitcher plant let it eat and drink for free? And another smaller beluga rat. Not so lucky. It loves the smell as much as the tree. However, benefits and risks often coexist. If it is a little careless, the soles of its feet slip. Will become the virtue in the photo. If it can't get out. In the end, it will become a digested skeleton. Maybe the pitcher plant wasn't meant to prey on mammals. But it turns out that it already has the ability. Legend has it that in the 19th century, explorers on Madagascar, a man-eating yativ tree discovered. It has thick tentacles like a python, can quickly stretch out and tighten the neck and body of a person. After it digested, only a pile of bones remained under the tree. For the legends this man heard. Do you think it's believable? Lure and hunt.